CS2 Season 3 is here. With it, Valve finally counts to 3, though not on their blog post. And while this new season does come with a few interesting changes, a new operation it ain't. We don't get any new maps. I think everybody was hoping for Cache now that it's in Valve's control, yet it's still nowhere to be seen. But we do get a very minor mix-up to the official map pool, with Overpass replacing Anubis. So why Overpass, and why now? Well, it got a few updates to it at the end of last year which could have shaken up its balance a bit. But really, I think it's best not to overthink these changes. I think this whole thing is because Valve are just trying to stir the map pool a bit to keep it from going stagnant. Maybe to keep pros on their toes by deviating from CSGOs, who knows. The game does get a few small tweaks to its gameplay. I'm particularly interested in the new $50 team award for CTs every time they kill a terrorist. It's rewarded to everyone on their team. And while $50 doesn't sound like much, in total that's $250 for the team for every kill CTs make. So if you kill at least 4 of them every round, then that's like a free flashbang or small deposit towards an auto-sniper for everybody on your team the following round. So this is a clever new way to balance one team against the other, and this added peer pressure should hopefully incentivise more aggressive plays by CTs, who are maybe in situations where they're on the fence between deciding to attack or to save. The Incendiary Grenades now have their flames spread out marginally faster than they did before. You know how in some games there are lots of cars or weapons or stuff that seems pointless because they all handle roughly the same? Not so with these hot little tossers. The 2 different fire grenades in Counter-Strike 2 have significantly different stats. Covering this is worthy of its own video sometime, but for now, just see this as another change to buff the CT side. Remember, the Incendiary Grenade's fire radius was smaller than the Molotov's, which also hampers how quickly its flames spread, so this update might not be there to make it superior to the Molotov's flame spread speed, but merely to try and match it again. So why does CT side need these buffs? Well, the latest major suggested they didn't. Inferno, Nuke and Train were actually very CT-sided already, Mirage was perfectly balanced, and of the 3 that were T-sided, Valve have gone and removed one of them. But then I guess the major is only part of the story. And if we look at the last 6 months of data for all HLTV covered matches, Anubis is the least balanced map in the game for T and CT-sided rounds, apart from that map. Presumably Valve have more data than we do, and probably specifically to do with the fire grenade usage, so here's assuming that they actually have proper reasons for doing this change. And the MP9 has been nerfed, and Sloth Squadron has already posted an in-depth analysis of these changes. Here's the recoil pattern from before and after the latest update. The MP9 has long been the go-to SMG for being very cheap and ridiculously accurate even when running and jumping about, so by having its recoil magnitude increased, the spray pattern has been made marginally bigger and thus slightly harder to compensate for. Previously, its jumping accuracy was much better than any other SMG, making it quite easy to land hits with it when at the peak of your jump, which made it a great option to attack enemies with when you're otherwise hidden behind cover. What? This latest update has more than doubled its inaccuracy, making it now worse for jumping accuracy than the MAC-10 and several others within the SMG category. So it seems like the MP9 has finally been nerfed to disincentivize Quake-esque plays. And there's been another update that currently only applies to CS2 on Steam, and that's that trades are now reversible for up to 7 days. You can see the icon here showing the feature applying to this particular trade. So how does this work? Well, say somebody hacks your account and takes all your stuff. So long as you can regain access within a week, you can reverse all of that. If you trade a weapon skin for money and the person scams you by not paying, then you can reverse the skin trade, avoiding the scam. But it means the reverse is also true. Say you trade a weapon skin for money and the person pays you for the skin. You can then scam them by reversing the skin trade, keeping both the skin and the money. So it's quite a radical and heavy-handed solution to the rampant scamming that's been going on, but it will likely result in new scams and exploits as well. Zipple thinks it will favour marketplaces that will help to smooth out this 7-day period, and points out that accounts that use this trade reversal feature are then trade locked for a month to avoid future security-related incidents. So you can't just keep going around scamming everybody with this, there is a cooldown period. To put it simply, I don't think anyone can foresee the full extent of this change, but the scamming was becoming such a problem, I think Valve sees any change to it as being an improvement. And surely this trade reversal feature can't make matters any worse. So I think now Valve will sit back, watch the fallout and make changes accordingly, and then possibly begin rolling this feature out to other games on Steam as well. So although Season 3 doesn't look like a big update to the game, there are actually quite a few changes going forward. But unlike the immediate and exciting shakeups that were felt with Operations, these seasonal changes could take quite a while longer to make their mark on the scene.